Ladies and gentlemen, here's Shirley Lin with In the Spotlight.
Welcome to In the Spotlight. I'm Shirley Lin. Today I'm really honored to have Rueibin Chen, Chen Rueibin, who is an internationally acclaimed pianist who's been doing a lot of performances around the world and have won a lot of awards. He started learning the piano when he was 5. He was born in Tainan, Taiwan, south of Taiwan. And he debuted at the age of 10 with the Taipei Symphony Orchestra. And he entered the Vienna Conservatory as the youngest student. You were 13 at the time, ever admitted at that time. And then you were a student studying under the legendary Lazar Berman. He's internationally acclaimed pianist for many, many years. You have a reputation for technical brilliance, immense energy, and intense artistic expression. I think people give you a title saying you've got angel's fingers because your fingers start dancing, once they touch the piano keys. So you have an immense liking for Rachmaninoff's works. And that's really amazing. And lately you've been working to actively introduce Chinese music to the Western world. So, hi, Rueibin.
Hi, Sherry. Yeah, so nice to see you again. Yeah.
Okay, yes, good to see you again.
Yeah.
I know I've interviewed you many years ago. I forgot what year that was.
Well,
but you don't remember either, right?
Well, yeah. Hopefully my English will improve
it's
better
now.
I think
okay, we'll see about that. Right, we'll see about that.
Okay.
Well, it's really good to have you back here to kind of taking a break from all your performances.
Yes.
So let's talk about, the fact that you have performed at a lot of major concert halls around the world, such as Disney Concert Hall in Los Angeles, Wallace Annenberg Center for the Performing Arts in Beverly Hills, and also the Sydney Opera House in Australia, Suntory Hall in Tokyo. This list goes on. And also the National Center for the Performing Arts in Beijing. What's it like to perform at these top venues in the world? I mean, is it pressure or is it exciting? What is it like?
Yeah, both. Yeah, I think
both?
So. Yeah, so first of all, so I was very impressed about the acoustic of those concert hall and of course the audiences. Especially one of the very, very good memories was in concert house in Vienna, which I debuted with age of 16 with symphony orchestra.
Well, that's where your home is now. I mean, you've been living there pretty much since you're the age of 16.
Yes.
So that is still the best venue to perform.
Especially the new concert hall in the Beverly Hills in LA, which I also have a tour to celebrate in 2013 to celebrate the Rachmaninoff his birthday.
His birthday.
Yeah. So which I played the complete Rachmaninoff recital.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, you did total Rachmaninoff for like 2 days. 2 consecutive days, you did concerts on all his works or something like that?
Yeah, this is a big challenge for me. Yeah.
It's a challenge? But you love his work so much.
So it's a very interesting story is that my teacher's teacher was the classmate with Rachmaninoff. So Rachmaninoff has a lot of pieces and dedicated to him. So and I loved his piece so much. So he left from Russian. So his music is all. So as you know, I left from Taiwan with age of 13 to Vienna. I even play his music, so I have some kind of a mood to his music.
Now, you've also performed with many, many different orchestras, world-renowned orchestras everywhere, all over the world, like Los Angeles Philharmonic, Polish National Radio Symphony, Budapest Symphony, and Prague Symphony. Well, what is it like to perform with these top orchestras? Does it take to adjust to different orchestra styles and ways to do things? Do different orchestras do things differently?
Especially, the two orchestras which I like Budapest Symphony and Polish National Radio Symphony. I performed with them, so Liszt and Chopin. They understood the repertoire more than 100 years. They have performed with so many maestros and me as an Asian pianist to play with them. I think it's kind of a pleasure for me. Yeah,
right. It's an honor.
Yeah, of course, it's an honor. So I won the applause and I won the recognition from the orchestra. Yeah, I think this is so a great experience and memories for me. And even also LA Philharmonic, which I played last year at the Hollywood Bowl. the biggest outdoor venue in America. We also have the more than 15,000 audience.
Since you say that these orchestras, they know the history of all these different composers.
Yes.
Because they're like, more than 100 years old and they've been studying their works for so long.
Yeah.
So before you perform with them, you kind of sit down and hear their stories, right? They tell you about all the little things that you probably don't know about these different composers. So you learn and you hear their stories. And I'm sure that helps you how to better play these composers' works, right?
Yeah, I hear from the orchestras. I hear from my teachers, Lazar Berman, about his story. So before he passing away, so because I started with him, I was the only one Asian pupil. After our lessons, I go with him to the train station, and then he told me a lot of his things about his story when he was in Russian. It really touched me a lot.
Now, you've also worked with many different famous conductors. What is it like working with different conductors? Can you say what kind of conductors you prefer, that you enjoy working with, without naming names? There are different conductors, right?
Yeah.
They have different personalities.
Yeah.
They have different style.
Yes.
What kind of conductors do you like to work with?
Well, so we don't have choice. So before we're going to play a concert and with orchestra, so we need a conductor, of course.
Sure.
Conductor's
leader. He's the boss.
He's a leader.
He's the leader.
Yes. And they have different styles, and they have different meanings, and different soul of the music. But my memories with conductor was to work with kind of a very, very legendary old maestros like Sergio Commissiona. I worked with him before he passing away. When he was more than 75 years, and I was, I don't know, 25 years or something like that. So,
wow.
And yeah, it's just we have. So I don't know how many different generations in between. But I learned a lot. So of course I learned his experience. I learned how he works with music. He shared me the experience. I mean, beside the music, I really learned a lot, and it touched so much that how to be a musician. Yeah, like him.
Just very basic, how to be a musician.
Yeah. So, and it was very important for me, even today.
You're listening to In the Spotlight. I'm Shirley Lin. Today, I'm speaking with Rueibin Chen, Taiwan's renowned concert pianist. Here, he's playing Rachmaninoff's Piano Concerto No. 2. In other words, you prefer older, more mature, experienced conductors than younger ones. Am I right?
Depends. Yeah.
Depends?
Yeah, depends. So,
what's the youngest conductor you've worked with? The youngest one?
I even works younger than, I mean, the conductor younger than me. So,
younger than you?
Yeah.
Like what, 10 years younger? No.
Oh, well, I mean, everyone can conduct orchestra. I mean, yeah. But first of all, you have no the repertoire, that's all.
Have you ever been a conductor yourself?
Several times.
You did?
But I always do with the piano because I'm a pianist, so...
What you mean you conduct and then you play?
Yeah.
That's harder than just conductor, right?
That is even harder, I think so, yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah.
But if you have a choice, obviously, you'd rather play the piano than conduct, right? If you have a choice.
Depends on the repertoire. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We do need conductors if I play like a very, very big repertoire and with the orchestra member, like 100 people.
Okay.
Yeah, we do need a conductor.
Of course, we were talking about your teacher, the late legendary Russian pianist Lazar Berman.
Yes.
It's really unusual for him to take in an Asian student like you, and you're his very first. And the only Asian student in his whole life?
Yes. Well, so far on the Wikipedia, yes.
Now I understand, because you really love Rachmaninoff's works, and that's because your teacher, Mr. Berman, was...
His teacher was classmate with Rachmaninoff.
His teacher was classmate with Rachmaninoff.
Yeah.
So he knows Rachmaninoff pretty well from his teacher. Yeah. And so you get to know Rachmaninoff a lot. You get to know him a lot. Everything about his life, the way he lives, what kind of person he is. So that helps you to better play Rachmaninoff's works, right?
Yes. Well, first of all, I met my teacher Lazar Berman after I won a competition, international competitions. And he already know me as a young pianist. He let me to play for 5 hours, and finally he accepted me as his pupil. So
you had
I have the demo for 5
hours.
Yeah, 4 or 5 hours, a lot of repertoires, and then finally he accepted. And
never heard that kind of long audition, you know. Right? 5 hours.
Well, he's kind of such a great maestro really, I have to say, I mean, a great maestro in the last centuries from Russia. So, and I met him once in a month, and I also played 5 hours non-stop. I brought a lot of music, always after lessons. So my physicality is so
drained.
Yeah.
Totally drained.
My hands, I need 2-3 days to recover my hands because of pain. But I learned a lot. And he also told me so many stories with himself. When he couldn't come to Europe to play it, when also before, like 45 years old.
Yeah.
And so he spent most of the time in Russian.
Do you think you play like him? I'm sure you imitate everything, even like, you know, when you play, when you move. Do you think you imitate everything from your teacher?
Well, it's kind of people say that, but I imitated him when I was young. But now I'm trying to
your own style.
Yeah.
Rueibin Chen.
His inspirations in spirit, but as a Chinese, so I also would like to create something, with Chinese culture.
I hear that you actually try to combine Chinese music with Western music.
Yes.
Are you still composing right now?
I transcribed the music, and I also founded a group with Chinese traditional instruments, which we have performed in the United States, and also that 2 months before in the international festival in Taiwan.
Yeah.
And we were very successful,
I know. I've watched and listened on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Because, there's a lot of young people now. Well, we still have a beautifully Asian music, but a lot young student audience or young people get lost about the beautifully Asian music. That's why I founded the ensemble, and I would like to continue to have kind of East meets West.
I think that's great.
And I transcribed Chinese music and Taiwanese music, and we performed in the United States, and we got a very, very good review, and we have an interview with LA Times, with CNN. So
is this what you're going to do more?
I'm going to continue to the kind of corporations,
What's your plan within the next 5 years?
Next year, I'll be back here in the next June 2016 to perform with the Taipei Chinese Orchestra here in Taipei.
Taipei Chinese Orchestra, so it's traditional Chinese musical instruments.
I'm going to play the Yellow River Concerto here in
heard
Taipei.
That. It's beautiful.
Which I played in Shanghai Expo as an opening soloist, and with Philharmonic in United States. But this is really my first time back here in Taiwan to play this piece. Besides that, I'm going to work with 3 different orchestras. We will have a tour in China next year, 2016, in different cities with 3 different orchestras. And besides that, I will work as an artist in residence in United States and in UK. Not only for performance, to give master classes and to educate the people, to transcribe Chinese music into a piano.
You're going to be having some classes where you're going to teach.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's great. Well, before we say goodbye,
yes,
I'm going to pop you 2 questions. Okay. Or maybe 1. I don't know. What's the first thing you think of when I say something that you must do if you go to Tainan?
Well, I'm going back to Tainan next April. Really, to have a music forum with the young generation, with the audience, which I never do it. Because Tainan is the city where I was born.
I know.
Yes, and I left with age 13. But Tainan is also a city. I assume it's probably the most cultural city
in Taiwan.
In Taiwan. To understand the stories, to see the cities. The city is not big, but you can have sightseeing. You will see a lot of
history,
a lot of cultural buildings.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you in June 2016 when you're going to be performing.
In Taipei, I will play with Taipei Chinese Orchestra, the Yellow River Concerto.
All right. And that's in June 2016.
Yes.
Looking forward to that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Rueibin.
Thank you.
It's been an honor talking to you.
Thank you so much.